All right, welcome to the Scotty Rorek Show. How's everybody? I hope you had a great Memorial Day. Once again, I want to make sure we honor and bless all the people that came before us to make us free and for their service here to us and so that we could be here tonight doing the show. Thank you for that. We'll do a moment of silence for all of them right now. Thank you. All right, welcome to the Scotty Rorek Show. This is so cool. I'm very happy to have my guest on tonight with me, a gentleman that this is very foreign to us. This gentleman used to be a co-host or a sub-co-host for us on The Buzz. So you remember we had Bob Stakner on here a few weeks ago, and now we have Mr. William Beck. William, welcome.
Scotty, thank you. It's really great to be on the program, and this brings back a lot of fun memories. So I'm looking forward to tonight very much.
Yeah, especially because we never saw each other when we were on here.
Exactly, yeah. I had a little more hair back then, too. So,
well, I had a lot less. I have it all ponytailed now, see?
Yeah, it looks good.
I know, it looks great. So I got a lot more hair. So this is COVID hair, and I haven't had a cut since November of 19, so. And I'm not going to. I'm going to see how long I can go now without cutting my hair.
Looks good.
So everybody, I know the update is the Ectomobile had to go into the doctors, and the Ectomobile is fine. So I want to make sure everybody knows Ecto 22 is doing well. She's back out of the doctors. She had her Ecto cooler fixed, and now we got some cold air, so I can actually drive and go places in air conditioning. So I'm very happy to have the Ecto back, and she's ready for the summer. So I'm very excited. She was great in the heat, but now it's cold. Now it's so hot. It's going to be the hottest weekend of the year here in Wisconsin. It's going to be up to 90, and for us that's hot.
See how that is hot up there, yeah.
Yeah, out by you guys, you're North Carolina, right?
Right, and I think this weekend it's supposed to be in the low 80s or something. So
yeah, you always got that ocean helping you, and the mountains on the other side.
Yeah, so we like it. It's a little change from Nashville, Tennessee, but we're happy to be here and closer to family. So
yeah, so on The Buzz here, I even made that fun opening with the guy drawing and stuff. I created that myself. I can't believe it.
Well,
I did all the radio stuff before. Now I'm doing video. I'm like, video. Wow, this is different.
You'll be making big movies pretty soon. So
I hope so. Anybody watching that's a producer, please call me at Scotty Rorek, and on Facebook, just hit me up. Happy to do it.
Then we'll make a Bryson McGann movie.
Oh, that'd be awesome. We'll have to talk about that tonight.
Yeah.
So let's get going. I always get jabbering into this, and we never really get into introductions first. So we'll go ahead and introduce yourself.
Well, I'm William Beck. I'm the author of the Bryson McGann Adventure Thriller series, and also the spin-off series featuring Jess Colton, a female archaeologist. And in the Bryson McGann series, we have a new novel out called Polar Meltdown. It's an adventure thriller that involves the DIA, the Navy, Russian submarine, a cabal of important business people, and Bryson McGann and a Canadian cruise ship. Wow. And they all come to loggerheads in the Arctic. So it's an interesting story, a lot of fun characters, and one of my most fun characters that I've ever written in the book is Scotty Rorek. So
I know who that is.
And I did get his permission a while back to use his name. So
yeah, I kind of forced him.
But actually, your part, Scotty, started out, it was going to be a smaller part, and then it just kind of evolved because this business that he owns is a mercenaries for hire company protection service, and was sort of alluded to in other books. And in this book, he is sort of the ringleader of this whole group. And your character, I just absolutely love. He's somebody you just hate to love. He's a shrewd guy. He's pretty devious. He's funny as hell. And I think you'll like him once you read the book. So
I can't wait. I can't wait for it. Yeah, no. So we were doing The Buzz one night, and I remember sitting here, and William was our guest host because I think everybody else was gone. Even Terry, nobody could jump in, but William jumped in and co-hosted the show with me. And I'm sitting there. We're talking about his books because I read his first book in like one setting. And everybody knows who watches the show knows I don't read. I mean, if I read, it's in the bathroom, and that's about it. I mean, I'm a Cliff Notes type of dude, you know. So for me to read a whole book in one setting was like, I was shocked. But I love his Bryson McGain books. I mean, they're awesome, and always have. I always have since we started this, and I have them here in the house. I got to get this one now, and of course, I want you to autograph it, especially since I'm in it.
Oh, absolutely.
Because I'm going to take it to shows with me, and then we'll talk about how I can get people to order it through you then.
Oh, okay. Well, that would be great. Yeah, we're tonight is sort of the official release of the Kindle version.
Oh,
and,
cool.
The paperbacks and hardbacks will be released in a few more weeks, and I'll update you on that when that happens. But we're also doing something special with the Kindle version for people who buy that. Part of their book sale will go to Canines for Warriors.
Oh,
it's a great program for our veterans who have suffered from PTSD, traumatic brain injuries, or sexual assault, and they provide service dogs for healing for these folks. And once I found out about this, I just said, I've got to donate some money for my book sale. So everybody that's listening, go out and get a Kindle Polar Meltdown and do some good work there for these people.
Yeah, Barbara, why don't you get it? Because Barbara's healing right now, so we keep sending out healing to Barbara every week. Barbara, why don't you get the Kindle version? You can sit in your room and read it and let us know how it is. So I'm so excited. I can't wait.
Oh, thanks.
Not even because I'm in it, because the books are
Well, yeah, I always enjoy writing the books because when I write them, it's like I'm watching a movie play out. But and there's always certain characters that I love in each book and like the different books for different reasons. But this one I'm really excited about. And also my wife is in it,
cool.
along with a couple surgeons that she had worked with at Vanderbilt University Hospital. And so they're in it, and makes for a fun read how that all blends together. So
Yeah, I remember just begging and begging, you know, I think you need a good character. I think you need a great character. You can use my name. Go for it. And it could be devious. It could be bad. I don't care.
No, I think you'll like Scotty Rorek in the book. So
I can't wait to meet him. But what's kind of funny is because one of the ladies that was on our show way back when, Marley Gibson and Patrick Burns, Marley wrote a series of ghost hunting books called Ghost Huntress, and so it's the girl version of like Harry Potter, but with ghosts and stuff. And I'm the evil history teacher.
So there seems to be a little theme going on here with this.
Yeah, I gotta show my other side because everybody thinks I'm so nice. You're gonna see the true Scotty Rorek.
Well, one of the things too that's in each book. Since I'm an old rocker fan, there's band members in each book who play characters. So it's always fun if you like rock and roll to kind of go through the pages and find those people. So I think one of the characters in this one is John Kay from Steppenwolf and a couple other folks. So
that's really cool. So so let's start way back, your way back machine. So when you were young, did you want to be a writer? What did you want to do? Rock and roll?
You know, it's interesting. I was thinking about this the other day. I remember in 1966, I'm a kid living in Northeast Ohio, close to Lake Erie. And I'm out in the backyard with my little transistor radio with the earbud in. And it was the first day of the release of the Beatles song Paperback Writer. And I heard that song and I instantly fell in love with it. And I just kind of thought to myself, what a great way to make a living, being a paperback writer, you know, and never really thought much about it till 20 some years later and started giving writing some thought. And so here we are. But that's kind of how that concept formed.
That's cool. So, I mean, did you go to school for, or what did you go to school for?
Well, after I left the Army, I went to nursing school and became a registered nurse. But also during that time, I took courses on creative writing and actually wanted to do children's literature when I first had the bug to write. And my kids were younger at that time, and I had some inspiration. And as they got older and started turning into characters from a horror movie, I said, well, there goes the children's lit idea. So no, actually, they're both great kids. But I just found that, I was kind of evolving with the writing themes. And my brother gave me the topic for the first book about the government's HARP project. And from then on, things took off into adult fiction. And I got to give a shout out to him because he always finds unique things and sends them to me. And they oftentimes end up being storylines in books. So,
Wow.
Yeah.
It's
I'm
cool
really
that
thankful
you
for
can
that.
live that too, work
Yeah.
together. It's kind of neat.
Yeah, absolutely.
So how big is your family?
My brother lives here in Hendersonville in North Carolina, and my sister's in Weaverville, just north of Asheville. So,
Okay.
yeah. And of course, our kids, our son's in Washington, D.C. and works at the Patent Examiner, and our daughter and her husband are moving from New Hampshire back to Florida, where she grew up, through his job. And I can't really say what that is because then I'd have to kill you. So no, I could. He works for Homeland Security, but I can't say anything else about that.
Right.
So.
None wanted. You don't need the show censored more than
That's right.
more than it normally gets every week. So.
Or have somebody knocking on my door in an hour or two. So
It won't be that long, buddy. Your books already get you in that realm. So
That's
hey,
right.
we're all good. So woo.
Well, this is interesting. We have a very good friend. He's retired now from the FBI, but he was very interested in my first novel and wanted the manuscript. And I always wondered, are you interested in it because I wrote the book, or are you looking for something because I'm talking about this government's HARP project in Alaska? And I've always wondered about that ever since then. So next time I see Steve, I'm going to have to ask him.
I know I have a friend who's on TV. His name is Ben Hansen, and he does a lot of the shows but his dad used to be part of the Men in Black.
Oh, okay.
And so his dad couldn't tell him much throughout his whole life. And his dad's passed now, and he always wants to know what his dad really has to say. And it's just like, because he remembers like giving hints to him, like they would see aliens on TV, and his dad would go, "That's not how they look," and he walked away, and that's all he would say.
Interesting.
So
Yeah.
you go your whole life, and your dad's in it, and he can't give you anything because that's the way he is. So that's kind of, I understand that. I understand what people want to look at our stuff and do. So, oh, by the way, Beth says hi, Dad.
Who did?
Right
Oh, Beth. Hey, Beth. How are you? She's a lovely gal that we worked with here in North Carolina.
Cool.
Yeah, nice that she tuned in. I appreciate that.
Yeah, but so like in your first book, was that your first book, or how did this? Where the book started? And because Bryson came when we met, and that's what, already 8 years ago, 9 years ago, something like that.
It's not
been a
like
while.
it.
Yeah,
It has been a while. Yeah. Began, came to life. My father's middle name was Bryson. And so that took on the character's first name. And his middle name is Donald, which was my dad's first name and my brother's first name. Hey, Connie. Nice to see you. And so Bryson came to life in Harp's Fury. And from there, we went to Red 7, which is sort of a geopolitical thriller. And based on a group in Washington, D.C. called the Carlton Group, and I fictionalized them. They had their fingers in a lot of different things all over the world, and I found them to be very intriguing. And so I thought, well, let's do something with them. And so we did. And then after Natalie Holloway was abducted, I started researching human trafficking. And that's how Caribbean Agenda came to life.
Right.
And
that was a great book too. I like that
you.
one.
Thank you. And then the fourth book, Cross Currents, was an Algerian terrorist. And there's an interesting story behind this guy's name. His name is Ali Azir Boujamed. And his last name came to life because when our son was little and we'd have lasagna, he'd always call it Boujamed. So I thought, what a great last name for some Algerian terrorists. So there's the inside scoop on that. And so that was a fun book to write too. And then here we are. And then so I also created a spin-off series. I wanted to do something with a female character. And so the Judas coin features Jess Colton, and she's a young female archaeologist who's having some life issues. And she ends up getting a consultant job at NASA, where Bryson McGann works in Seattle, Washington. And she gets a call late at night from a stranger, and he tells her that she has been the guardian and she will receive a package in a couple days, and he will arrive too and explain everything. And so from there, the story takes off and goes to the Middle East as she searches for the coins that belong to Judas before this Aramaic curse written a couple hundred years before Christ comes to life. So, and I'm working on her second book at the moment.
Nice.
Called The Odessa Image. And I'm also involved in doing some short stories. The first one was Solemn Vow, and it's a prequel to the Bryson McGann series. And the next one, Uncommon Valor, is another short story that follows that first one. So I've got a few things on the plate that I gotta work on. Yeah,
you're retired now, so what the heck?
That's right. Yeah. And enjoying every minute of it.
That's a change.
Yeah. Somebody asked me the other day, aren't you bored? I said, I have not been bored one day since I quit working.
And I have, people say that too. Don't you miss going to the corporate America? Hell no. No way in the hell. No. I love this. I love helping people. I love doing the shows. I love doing, the spiritual fairs and paranormal stuff. I love my ectomobile. I love it. So it's fun. But, there I came out totally. There's no way I can hide anymore now that I ghost hunt, because today I went to Burger King to get stuff for my son and I before the show here. And all of a sudden the manager comes running out with all the employees and they're all taking pictures. So it happens like that everywhere.
A star is born.
The coolest thing, the car is. I mean, it's amazing. I'll tell a little story here. See, at first I thought this was, this has always been one of my, I think I was even talking about you way back then. I've always wanted this car. I've always wanted my own ectomobile, and it's been on my bucket list for my whole life. And now I have the time, I had a little bit of the money, so I did it. I finally got that off my bucket list, But at first I said, this is all for me. And then I realized it's not even for me at all. It's for everybody else. I can't tell you race, gender, whatever they are, they love it. Everybody loves Ghostbusters.
Absolutely.
Everybody does. And it's a way for us to talk to them about ghosts in a way that they're going to talk, because it's a Ghostbuster mobile. So they go, so why did you build a car? Because I'm a Ghostbuster. This is what I do for a living. I do ghosts. I'm a psychic medium. I talk to ghosts. I go to people's houses. I'm a Ghostbuster. So my first day with it, my friend Andrea and her husband Kelly helped me make this car. And my first day, I had to go to a meeting where I'm writing a book, but I'm channeling it. So this comes from his name is Sean Bacon. He died just about a little over a year ago on Valentine's Day, and he fell through the ice and he died. And our psychic group that I'm in, we helped find him. We knew where he was, helped tell his mom, and now I'm channeling the book for him on everything that led up to it and everything he's been doing since. So it's been kind of fun to put this together with this person. Anyway, so we meet at a restaurant every Monday morning, and I do 3 hours of channeling every Monday, so we can write this book. And so first thing in the morning, I drive the car in for the first time. The owner of the restaurant comes out. He wants to see it because I've been talking about it so much. And so he came out and saw it. So then we sit down, we order, we get our food, and all of a sudden this police car whips in. I went, what the hell? And then you hear, and then what's funny, then my friend Kristen, his mom, goes, hey, he's coming in. I went, what? He goes, okay, who has that ectomobile outside? I went, oh my God. And he goes, can I come there? I said, yes, because it was still during pandemic. We had to wear masks. And he said, yes. And I said, okay, come over. He goes, I just want you to know that's the greatest car in the world. And he goes, the coolest thing about it is I took pictures of it and I put it on Facebook. I said, okay, so what's your Facebook page so I can go to it? Because I didn't put it on mine. He put it on the police department's website. And he has on there, do you hear noises in your basement or attic? You face in dread or sorrow? Contact the professionals, and they put the picture on there. So
that's great.
It's still on there. So now if any cops ever come up to me, I'm going to go, Winona Police Department likes it.
You got the stamp of approval.
Yeah, but I mean, it's talking about, how much people like the work, how much, even though it comes from us and our ideas, it's more and more like that. And that's why I loved your books, and that's why we got to be friends, is because of the book, and because it was so intriguing. But that's what it does. It brings out the best in people. I had a 10-person road crew that was cementing a road, fixing it, all stopped and started dancing and yelling, there's something strange in the neighborhood. and they all go, who are you going to call? And they all pointed over to the car.
Oh, that's fantastic.
I wish I had my camera rolling, because that was like, that'd be one of those movie moments.
That is fantastic. We've I think we've talked about this before. I've had some interesting experiences with the ghost things.
And that's what we want to talk about. That's kind of why I'm trying to transition.
Yeah.
But did you see that, by the way? That was for you. Did you see, Georgia?
I did, yes.
Hi, welcome to the show. But when we're talking about this, but that's the thing I'm saying, is we at times think we're doing this for ourselves, and we think that this is going to be there. Now it's way bigger than me. It doesn't matter to me anymore. I love it. I'm always going to love it, and I treat it like a person. And I always say it has to go to the doctor when it's going to the garage. It has to go out to eat when we go to gas stations.
That's right.
So I made this persona for it. It even has its own Facebook page.
Oh, really? I'll have to get on there and hit the like button. So
yeah, everybody else too.
That's right.
But now it's become this thing that when it drives by, people are got their cameras up. People are doing this. It's making people happy. And I guess that's the reason why. Plus, it's a way for us to get the ghost normalized in the world too.
Right, because they're certainly there, without doubt. But you're right. That's an important thing in life. To do positive things and bring positivity into the world. Absolutely important. There's not enough of it. So, applause to you.
I applaud you for what you're doing with the Kindle book. That is amazing to help people, because this is what it's really about, is us helping. Because this is the only way, everybody, that this world is going to change, is by doing stuff like this, by helping others, by giving them a better life, showing them a better way, being there for them when they're depressed. That type of stuff is what COVID did for all of us, or should have, but not everybody's there yet. It's showing us that we have to be one. We can't be separated like this country is. We have to come together as one, as a people, as a race, as a society. There is no race. There's only oneness. It's us. And that's the thing that I found during the pandemic, that was the most important thing. Money wasn't, jobs wasn't, everything wasn't. Ecto came out of nowhere, and that's important because it's making people happy. But that's what it is, because the more people I helped during there, Spirit also came out to people because they were sitting on their couches. Not, normally they wouldn't be on their couch; they'd be too busy. Now They're sitting on their couch. All of a sudden, Spirit's going, hello, anybody in there? Hi, you know. And,
Exactly.
and then everybody contacts me and goes, how come I'm hearing my dad? You know, Grandma was here last night. I go, yeah.
Yeah.
They always were. You just were too busy.
Yep. They're around all the time. Absolutely.
But I mean, that's what you're doing too with the book. I mean, that's what this world needs, and that's what it's about. You know, William and I talked before the show. Both of us are very similar, but we don't come out with the topics because it's really about the oneness. It's really about us being together and helping each other. That's what it's about. It's not being this political thing, like this, that, nothing. Just be one. If somebody needs help, help them.
So true. Absolutely.
You know, and if you can make them happy, have them be happy. And I mean, when you read his books, you'll be happy.
And I'll be happy because somebody bought a book.
No, I mean, seriously. I mean,
No.
You know me very well. You know, I do not read. I just don't. And for me to still read every one of your books, I've read in one session.
That's awesome. What a great testament. Thank you.
You know, and it's amazing. And because I'm depriving myself because I don't read. I don't. I'm going to tell you right here, live on Facebook and YouTube, I do not read. So for me to say I read William Beck's book, that's pretty big because I don't read.
Well,
I didn't even read Stephen King or nobody. The only other one I'm going to say I read is Shakespeare, but that's about it.
well, I'm in good company then. So
Very great.
well, you know, I enjoy it so much, and I enjoy it getting the feedback like that when people really enjoy reading what I've written, because it is a lot of hard work. It's a lot of fun. But, you know, it's always nice to get that little pat on the back for something that you've done and make a difference in somebody's life.
Correct. I mean, and that's why I made that long point. I tend to do that, but that's what it is. I mean, because I like that type of adventure. I like James Bond. I like all those type of movies like that. I mean, and now even when you look at them, all the stuff that's happening with global warming and all this stuff, right down the line. You know, I mean, his books hit right in that same realm. You know, it's incredible, and it's poignant, it's fun, and you need to check it out. I want to make sure everybody checks out his books because they are amazing.
Yeah, so they can go to my website at www.booksbybeck.com, and you'll find a synopsis for each book, links to purchase books, radio interviews, blogs, all kinds of good stuff on the website. And we just recently redid it. So I'll be getting back to doing some more blogging, that type of thing for the website. But
I'm so into talking to you. We haven't talked in years. I didn't even put the banners up tonight.
Oh, that guy. Yeah.
Yeah. That's who we're talking to. So all the people on Facebook are, and watch it in replay go, oh, that's who we're talking to.
The suspense builds, right?
Yeah, halfway through the show. Then you know who goes on.
Well, I hadn't even noticed, so I've just been having such a
Me
good time
either.
talking with you, so getting caught up on things.
Cool. So let's talk about ghosts.
Yeah.
Because I know you know.
Yes, I do.
So why don't you give your story and then we'll go back.
Oh, goodness. Well, I had lots of experiences ever since I was a child. And one of the biggest ones was when we were living in Nashville, Tennessee. And our home had many spirits living in it. We had actually been contacted twice by Taps, the TV show.
Okay.
And they were interested in coming out to the house to do a TV show, but they wanted some type of hook, that was scary or something. I said, well, there's nothing scary here. I'm just interested in finding out more about whoever is living here,
Right.
Because there's several people. And so that never happened, but they sent it was an affiliate from Clarksville, Tennessee, and they came to the house twice, and we just had some great stuff going on. We had a shadow person in the house, orbs, EVPs, just about anything you can think of. And over the period of a year and a half, I kept a journal for all the things that we could not debunk that occurred, from sounds like cannons firing, gunshots, crates being dragged, bullwhips cracking, things moving around, clocks flying off the wall, bizarre prints inside the glass of my curio cabinet, just a whole host of things. And absolutely fascinating. They would be in the car at times. As crazy as it sounds, I was coming home one day from work, and all of a sudden the car smells like it's cigarette smoke in the car, and I don't smoke. And it's like, oh, no, we're not doing this. There's going to be no smoking in the car, okay? And so I said, you got to stop that. And so they did, and smell went back to normal. We go down the road, and all of a sudden it's the smell of cherry pipe tobacco. And it's like, I said, no smoking. And they finally got the hint after that. And the very next day, my wife came home, stopped at the mailbox. She got back in her car. It smelled like cigarette smoke. So I don't know who that was, but they visited the house a number of times. But we just had all kinds of interesting phenomena happen, with objects moving and interactions that, a lot of people think, oh, you're crazy. That stuff doesn't happen. It does happen. And I think it happens all the time, but a lot of people just aren't open to it, or they're too busy. I think some people are more attuned to it than others. And I find it extremely fascinating. And so that area around Nashville was a great place for.
So where in Nashville was it?
It was outside of Nashville and Fairview,
Okay.
not too far from Franklin. Of course, all kinds of Civil War battles and things.
I have a very good friend that lives in Franklin.
Oh, really? Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a neat little town, isn't it?
Yes, it's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love it. But yeah, that's fun. I mean, that whole area of town is very haunted.
Yes.
I mean, I even did a movie downtown, and now it's been torn down. The strip club that we did a movie in, that it was torn down, but there was plenty of activity in that strip club.
Oh yeah.
It's all down there, and it's all based on the land, not on the buildings.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah, we, my wife and I went to Shies Hill one day, which was the last part of the Battle of Nashville.
Mm-hmm.
And the Confederates were at the top of this hill, and Union forces had to go up this hill. I mean, it just had to be absolutely horrendous. And I got out of the car, and it was like a tsunami hit me of just energy. Yeah, I mean, it literally threw me back against the car, and I just, oh my gosh, this is just unbelievable. And had other experiences like that from Civil War things around there. And
have you ever been to Gettysburg?
I have.
You had the same type of feeling there as you did there?
It's interesting. I would like to go back and see, because we went when our kids were younger, and so we were busy with them going around the battlefields and stuff. And so I really didn't notice things, but I definitely would like to go back there, because that whole area, incredible amounts of energy there.
Yeah, what was really weird, I felt a lot of energy where Lincoln was. That was probably the coolest I ever felt, was where he, up in the field where he gave his speech. Mm-hmm. That was like totally awesome.
Oh my.
And then we were at this big, we saw the Wisconsin thing, and went up. One of these has this big place where you climb all the way up, and we're standing up there, and everybody's looking around, and I go, hey, cool, look, there's a reenactment going. Everyone said, what? There's nobody out there. I go, oh, okay, never mind.
Wow.
I see it. I'm enjoying it. So you guys talk amongst yourselves. I'm going to have fun.
Yeah, it's interesting to be let into that window and see things like that. We were traveling along the interstate in Pennsylvania a number of years ago, heading up to Vermont, and there was a site where back in the 60s, there was this huge crash of vehicles on a foggy morning. And all of a sudden, Becky looks over at me and, "Are you all right?" And I said, "I'm seeing that bus crash, and I'm hearing the moans and screams of people. I see the cars all mangled up." And this went on for about a quarter of a mile and then finally went away. And it's interesting.
It is nice. I mean, you know, you talk about one of your characters as the archaeologist. I mean, to me, that's what I feel like. I'm a spirit archaeologist.
Yeah.
I get to see these buildings, this space as what they used to be. You know, a lot more than a lot of people do. You know, so I don't have to spend hours and years digging out. I can just see it. So I feel like I'm happier because I don't have to do all the work.
Yeah, we did have one interesting experience in Gettysburg. We were staying at a bed and breakfast that was built in the 1850s. And so there was a loft upstairs with a king size bed, and we'd been on the road for a number of days. And so Becky and I thought, oh, it'd be nice. We can stretch out up there. And of course the kids are, "Oh, I want to sleep up there. I want to sleep up there." It's like, all right, you guys go sleep up there. We'll sleep in the twin beds downstairs. So in the middle of the night, it sounded like somebody fell down the stairs. We jumped up out of bed and ran up the stairs, and the kids were sound asleep. And so we talked to the owner the next day about it. And she said, "Oh yeah, we have all kinds of haunts in this house." But you know, a lot of people would just say, "No, I don't know what that was," or, "Oh, we can't go there. We can't talk about ghosts. That's kind of scary," you know.
That was the wind. Okay.
Yeah. Big wind.
Yeah, I had Taco Bell. That's what it was.
But well, speaking of spirits, no. We our last nurse job was here in North Carolina at a rehab facility. And I think the place was probably about 50 years old or so. You talk about spirits in that place. I mean, and a lot of people, not just me, witness things. And Beth, who's on the program listening, she worked there for a while, and we saw a number of things. She is very attuned, and but I saw a person walk out of a wall into a wall, across the other side of the hall, things fly off, shadow people, voices. I was in the dementia ward, which was a lockdown ward, and I was doing rounds. It's about 2:00 in the morning. I was getting ready to leave a room, and both of the men in this room were sound asleep. And I hear this voice over my shoulder says, "Help me." I said, "Oh, okay." Had an orb fly out of a room, went right through me. I have never been so cold in my entire life. It was
Wow.
It was interesting. Had a witness for that. And but I mean, it went from room temperature, I felt like it's 20 below zero. And strange stuff.
No, it's awesome stuff.
Yeah.
When you really think about it, I mean, that's what I'm out doing now, trying to change people's views on this. To know that your loved ones, you know, you're in dementia, you're in this last phases, you're trying to depart yourself. To know that the loved ones are there to help you. I mean, I bet you had this a lot too, that they would call out people's names that had died years ago.
Oh yes, yeah.
Yeah. See, and they're like talking to them like they were standing in the room.
Right there. Yeah.
Well, because they were standing in the room.
Exactly. Yeah, I've witnessed that numerous times over the years in nursing, and
yeah, but to know that. Go ahead.
As I say, talk to a lot of people who didn't believe it, but no, I've seen it firsthand, and absolutely.
And to me, for those people that don't believe it, are the ones that are always the first ones to come to me for a reading and go, "How's my parents doing?" Well, they were there. They told you that they were there. They brought their mom in. You heard her. You know.
Yeah.
So how much more do you want to know? You know, how much more could I give you than them showing you exactly where they were going and who was there to take them?
Yeah.
I mean, I remember when we were doing the show back then, you know, The Buzz. I remember my dad and grandpa came during one of the episodes of The Buzz, and they walked down the hallways and came into the room when I was on the air. I had to tell them to go away and come back a commercial break or at the end of the show. But they came back and told me Grandma was going to die on Thursday. She did.
Interesting.
And then, but see, I was fine then because I knew Dad, my dad, her son that she loved more than anything, and her father, her husband, who was even the same, and they looked the same, and I looked like my dad. And so that's why she always used to call me Henry when she was losing it too, because I looked like them. So she thought I was around. But to know that they were there, and then at the funeral to see my dad, Grandma, and her husband, and my aunt, and my grandma's sister, and all these people standing in the funeral, in this place with her.
Yeah.
And then I saw them all leave the church together out the back wall. I was like, I'm happy. She's happy. She's with everybody she loves. There's not one person missing. So how much more why can I mourn? Because I'm not going to mourn because she's happy.
Right.
And
Absolutely.
the only reason if I'm going to mourn, that means I'm a selfish idiot because I'm not here. It's not about me. It's about her. She needs to be in the place of love. And she was.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And then I got beat up on Facebook over it because I said, I'm so happy for my grandma to have finally passed. And people go, what do you mean? I mean that she's in a better place. You're an idiot. So stop talking. But see, that's what it is. I mean, if we really understood that Spirit is with us all the time, our lives would be so much more happy because we know that the loved ones are there. I know my dad's standing right there, and my spirit guide's standing right there. I know it. They're always with me, and I feel bad if I don't feel them during the day. Then I always have to ask them. They go, "Of course we're here." You know what I mean? So they're always around us. We always have them around us, and we have to rely on them because sometimes we fall down and need that help.
Absolutely.
So here's the other question, and I've been waiting a long time to ask this. So where's the ghost book?
Somebody asked me about that one time.
Bryson McGain finds the ghost.
I've thought about, the next Bryson McGann book is called The Orion Project, and it's going to deal with, there's space mining that they're talking about happening and mining on the moon. And so NASA and their space program,
Right.
But delve into the UFO aspects some.
Which is great. That needs to be done. So.
Yep, absolutely. So my cogs are starting to turn with that one. And I've had some experiences with those things too. Which
I have had too, and I have to admit, because a lot of times I say I know everything, or people say, "Oh, you think you know everything." I didn't know anything about aliens. I really was late to the party. I really was. I mean, but then again, it was my Catholic bring up that we're the most important thing in the universe, and we're not even close. There are so many more worlds and so many things. And I found this through my channeling, with Sean. I found this through my channeling. He talks to us about aliens all the time and how there's so many out there. There are like aliens that look like tribbles, but they're just intelligent beings. They're just in a different realms than we are.
Yeah.
And for us to think that we're all that we're the only ones in the universe, we're idiots.
Yeah, it's a bit much.
We got to stop that, and embrace it because there's clues that they've been here. There's clues all over the place. I love all those photos the old photos from on Facebook. You see where ladies walking like this, talking, and and I mean, it's 1920. There's
Right.
what you got in your ears. I don't even think we had portable radios yet then.
No.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What's she doing?
Oh, yeah. Very interesting. Yeah.
You find stuff like that, or the guy in the T-shirt, in this picture of all these old people,
Right.
all these shirts and ties, and he's in a T-shirt walking around.
Yeah. How does that happen? Interesting.
Okay, I got a question for you.
Dr. Stephen Greer. Well, I have to confess, I don't know Dr. Stephen Greer. So enlighten me, please.
Yeah, come on. So,
Oh, yes. Watch Ancient Aliens all the time. Okay.
so we'll have to find who from Shadowhunter said that, so we know who Dr. Stephen Greer is. You watch Ancient Aliens?
Oh yes, yeah. I'm just trying to think which character that is on the program.
It's not. I don't think they're related. That was two different people.
Oh, okay. So I guess we're back to who is Dr. Stephen Greer. So
yeah. He's an American ufologist who founded the Center for Study of Extraterrestrial Intelligence and Disclosed Project.
I've not heard of him.
He's in Charlotte, North Carolina. You might as well go visit him.
Really? I'm going to have to write that down here.
Stephen and Greer, Greer. Yep.
Okay.
He's he was in Charlotte. He went to East Tennessee State.
Interesting.
Yeah, I guess he's done a lot. If he has The Fifth Kind, I guess he wrote.
I'll have to look and see if he has any books out there. There's so many people in that field. Certainly not familiar with all of them.
Close Encounters of the Fifth Kind. I think he's part of that whole thing.
Oh, okay.
So UFOs, yeah, they're around. They're all over the place. We see them all the time.
Oh, yes.
And that's why it's funny, too, because I saw the other one out there on the web where they had pictures of spaceships 5 years before they were created. They climbed in the sky, you know.
Yeah, how does that happen?
Well,
yeah,
that happens because they come back from the future and think that we still had them and we didn't create them until later, so they're missing time. Got to be like coming back coming back from the 70s and wearing your pink shirt and your sweater around your neck in the 70s. We didn't do that in the 70s. We did that in the 80s. You know,
right?
So a little bit of different time. Same thing. They were all right, but they're accurate, but not.
Yeah. Well, there's incidents when I was a kid that my brother and sister tell me about. My mom and dad had gone to the grocery store or something on a Friday night, and Western Pennsylvania and Northeastern Ohio back in the 60s was kind of a hot spot for UFOs. And so it was dark out, and all of a sudden, all these multicolored lights just happened to be right above the front yard outside the picture window. There's no police car, no fire trucks, nothing like that. And they both remember that this happened. We're kind of scared about it. And I have absolutely no recollection whatsoever of that. So what happened? I don't know. Maybe they put a chip in my head or something at that time. But it was very interesting. And then when we were living in Tennessee, I walked out one December night. It was trash day the next day, so I took the can to the curb, and right across the field at treetop level is this huge black triangle. It's probably 150 feet on each side, with a red light at each corner. And it was hovering and made this soft whirring sound. And it started moving across the field about as fast as you would walk. And I watched it for 300 yards, and then all of a sudden it just disappeared. But it was darker than the ambient night sky.
Right.
And you couldn't see through the blackness of the craft. And very fascinating stuff.
I saw one here. That's what kind of changed my mind. Well, there's a town southwest of Madison here called Belleville, Wisconsin. And it even has UFO days yet. But it was one of the hot spots of things in Wisconsin. They had the most UFO things happening in Belleville, forever. And they still have spaceships sending people's yards and stuff that he always uses for the parades. Now I'm going to have to bring Ecto in there. But so we live close to an airport. So a lot of stuff I see is airplanes coming in or other devices or those things. I came in, this thing looked like a 4x4 post, but way bigger. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like a 4x4 post. It was probably 24 feet long or more. You know what I mean? It was huge. I mean, and it was in the sky and it was flying. And so, I mean, I didn't see the end, so it could be cigar shaped, but it was long like that. But what the thing that got me was the fact that the lights were square and they would pop from here to here. And it wasn't like they flash, like
Right.
the normal ones. And they were white or more translucent because they were like really shiny type of things. But the lights were on it and they were going back and forth all the way up and down. So almost like a train track because how the lights were moving. But this thing was in the sky, and all of a sudden you look back up, it's gone.
Gone. Yep.
And I drove right to the airport. I didn't see anything land. I went all around because you can go around and see the whole airport. Nothing there. So
yeah, it's
we have F-16s and we have all the big planes here. So it wasn't one of them.
right, and you can definitely tell between an aircraft and an alien craft or whatever you want to call them. But
yeah, it's definitely a UFO because I couldn't identify.
Well, and then we have the Navy has recently released those videos from 2004 of the Tic Tac that the fighter pilots saw, and so there's supposed to be something happening in June of this year.
We're here.
Yeah, that the Senate is supposed to be being briefed, and the public's supposed to know more information about UFOs. Apparently, was put into some congressional bill. So what the public ends up knowing, who knows? I'm sure a lot will be redacted, but any bit of light on the subject's a great thing. So,
but you think about it though, once again, even though we went through COVID and everything, talk about changing the whole aspect of our lives to then really knowing that we aren't the only ones.
right.
And everybody who always went, yeah. Same thing with ghosts. They're going to have to change their whole view on the universe.
Yeah.
Because if there are other races, there are other people. We've met them, we've seen them, we know they're spacecrafts. Even if they're drones that only have come over here. You know what I mean? Whatever. We all find out that this is now our whole paradigm is going to have to shift.
Yeah. Well, I've always thought it's a bit myopic to think that we're the only species in the entire universe, or this dimension, whether they come from extra dimensions or wherever they come from.
Right.
The transition, if it's extra dimensional, how they get back and forth is a fascinating thing.
Because I've heard people that say I've been able to, that some of the ghost information or what I get from spirit comes through like little wormholes through dimensions. And so if I'm a wormhole reader, sweet. That's what I'm calling myself. But however they do it, I want to know how we do it. I want to know how I can sense it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I've never, even though I love Star Trek, my youngest son's middle name is Picard, love Star Trek. But I never believed, and that's why it took me quite a while. I never believed we could go like this to get any place.
No, it would just take
there would be so many hundred generations to get across the universe. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now, if the universe bent and we could do it, or the other one I hear that I believe that all the dimensions are happening at the same time, past, present, future, everything's happening all at the same time. So then, if we can break through that and get through it, we're there already.
You're there.
That I can believe in. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. To me, that makes sense. So.
Candy writes, Native Americans call them star people. I'd say they have gotten information from them and protect their older tribes. Yeah.
The Native Americans are very much into that. And, we were watching a program the other night called The Secrets of Skinwalker Ranch out in Utah. And, it's a reality show, but it's very interesting. There's been stuff going on there long before this TV show ever came to life. The Native Americans there, one tribe put a curse on the other, and supposedly these skinwalkers came to life. But there's just so many bizarre things happening on this ranch of all different varieties.
Right.
It's like, wow. Just to know all the answers to that would be fascinating.
I'm going to have to watch that because the show I've been binging is Cobra Kai.
Are you ready to put on your sparring gloves? We'll do some karate there. So
Wax on. Wax off.
yeah, it's been a few years since I put on my gi, but it still fits, by the way.
Oh, nice. So you must be geeful.
At times.
Okay. Yeah, it was fun to get back into the times, but yeah, I've been watching a lot of shows on that, but the spirituality stuff is what's really kind of like been my goal lately, is trying to get everybody into that again, and knowing that spirit is really here to help us. And the other thing I totally believe, when everybody's watching, if you haven't seen it before, I'm going to tell you that we all have the gifts. We can all see, we can all hear, we can all do it. The only difference between me and anyone else is practice. Because I believe that I'm developed exactly the same as William is, as anybody else who's watching tonight. I don't think I'm any more special than anybody else. I'm not. I'm just the fact I've been doing this longer than other people. You know, I always bring up the analogy. It's like playing baseball. Everybody's played baseball one time. I don't think there's one person in the world that hasn't played a form of baseball. You know, kickball, all that type of stuff, running around bases. Everybody's done it. But that doesn't mean you're in the Hall of Fame. You're not Hank Aaron, but everybody's played baseball. You know what I'm saying? So everybody can play it, and some people are good. I mean, some people have the talent and they go way above, and I understand that. But there are some people that get into the major leagues that have practiced their butts off their whole life. And it's because the talent's the same. It's how you're dedicated to using it or how you believe in it. And I think that's the biggest difference that we have to do right now is believe. So that's what people call faith.
So what do you do to I'm interviewing you now. So what do you do to practice?
Meditation is the first place to start.
Okay.
Meditation gets us into a mindset where we can actually hear spirit so much better. I teach classes on it. The first thing I teach everybody is how to distinguish their energy and know how their body works. Because I can tell anybody who comes on there and says, "Well, I know it." If you don't know your own energy and how your heart beats, how your blood flows, how your lungs inflate, how your anything. If you don't know how that feels, then how do you know what spirit is? Because you don't know your own energy. But once you understand your energy, then anything comes up to you, you know it's different than yours. Even other people. Because, I mean, you and I are very different. I mean, you go back to the malls now because you don't have to have masks. You go back to the malls, walk around, you know everybody's, you can feel people's energies. If they're good, you walk with them. If they're bad, you woo. I mean, and that's just because we know energy. But now imagine if you knew your energy, how much stronger you would be in helping decide what the other people are. We're not meant to be with everybody. So that's kind of the other thing of you walking away from them. Because I don't believe energy is good or bad. I just believe it's not of our polarity. Just like a magnet. Not all energy is supposed to click. But if you turn the energy the other way, your magnet the other way, then it clicks to the negative energies. So that's why I always tell people to stay positive, stay open, because then positive, open stuff comes to you. It's when we hide, or what I call making our own hell. When we hide and make our own hell, that's when all the negative stuff comes to us because we're turned away from what we really should be in this life, and that is love.
Interesting. I never thought about it like that before, but makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, I'm a little farther along in my teaching than I was last time. And I'm glad Spirit has taught me. My classes were given to me through Spirit, through meditation, through understanding. And
awesome.
I mean, you can even tell I'm not the same person I was before. I'm much more humble. I went through a terrible phase, and I knew it, and I've always said it, and I know who I am now, and understand who I am, and I understand what I'm here to do. And I'm here to make sure people understand Spirit's here and to give us love. And that's what this is about.
Well,
and so are you.
Well, we're all here for a purpose. Whether we find that or not is a question.
Right. Well, it's whether we accept it or not. because it always comes. Because
Okay.
your enjoyment of what you got. If you stayed a nurse and not wrote, then you would have let your purpose go away. See what I'm saying? And that's why that's why you love your life so much now, is because that's gone. And you're truly doing what you're supposed to be doing, is your entertainment, your writing, your things that help people. Even though you're saying it's nonfiction, it helps people. It helped me at the time. And that's what's so great about it. And that's why we have to remember, not always do we know what it is, but when it's happening, we're enjoying it, we need to keep enjoying it, because that's what it is. And that's why your life is so blessed. Right?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, yeah, you've definitely got to follow that path when it calls. And
Correct.
and life presents a lot of obstacles that get in the way and block those things oftentimes. But yeah, I'm excited to be able to devote more time to doing the writing and enjoying life more. So, not that I didn't enjoy the nursing. It was a good job.
Well, it helped a lot of people too.
Yeah,
but
absolutely.
that was just your next phase to really get you to your knowledge of to help people, because you helped through your writings. Thank you, Greg, by the way, for writing that. I appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Candy says many don't believe in spirits. It's considered a no religious backgrounds. Well, it is because if you look back at it, it's a way for humans to be of knowledge, and spirit gives us the knowledge, and for us to know the knowledge that we're in control. And a lot of religions like to be, and even cults like to always take that information away from you and tell you how to think. And that's the tough part. And that's where they don't want you to do, because that's what Rome did. And that's why a lot of the Bible changed, because if you look back in ancient history, you look back, for your archaeologists, you look back farther, they always had a shaman or an oracle and a warrior and the leader of the tribe. That's how they all ran, because the oracle would always tell the warrior, this is not the day to fight, don't do it, or this is the day to fight. And they would listen and they would do it, but they would always work as a team. But then Rome didn't want anybody else to knowledge. So they said, it's us only. You listen to us, and if you don't listen to us, you're out. But that's what happened, and that's what still happened. And we're getting it from two parties now. So it's like we need to be of knowledge of ourselves.
Absolutely.
And by the way, mark this on the thing. Something just walked behind you.
Me?
Yep. It was in your doorway above the thing. So when you go back and watch this again, look back there. Oh, that's somebody now. Hi. Somebody at the door?
Oh, that's Becky.
That is.
She's peeking out from the bedroom back there.
Hi, Becky.
You can come say hi. Scotty says hi.
You come over and say hi. Come on the show. So we'll see if that other one is Becky first. Hi.
Hello.
How you doing? Welcome to the show, everybody. Becky
He
back.
says, welcome to the show. So she can't hear you at the moment.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Well, hey, welcome to the show.
Well, thank you, Scotty.
Everyone, it's Becky back.
Yeah, Scotty said that he saw something in the back. So we're going to have to see if that was you that peeked out that he saw first, or if there was a spirit here in the house. So.
No, it was I.
Oh, okay.
Well, I'm glad it's you, not an I. So
Yeah.
Everybody's having a fun time.
Oh, good.
everybody's been saying hi. We're just about to wrap up, but everybody's been saying hi. So it's been a long time since William and I have talked. So
Yes, it's been too long. So
Yeah,
I'm
we gotta
glad
stop
we've
that
had this opportunity.
we got to stop that from now on. So, all right, why don't we give your books again where everyone can buy them, especially hardcovers are the ones with the character Scotty Rorek coming out. You have to buy that one.
That's right. So paperback or hardback copies, go to my website at www.booksbybeck.com. and you can click on the particular book and just hit the icon. There's also on each book site is a icon for Kindle by Amazon. And for the Polar Meltdown, which is a book that's out now, and we're releasing the Kindle version to help with Canines for Warriors, just scroll down the Polar Meltdown page till you get to the Amazon icon and just click it. And your purchase will help to do a lot of good for a lot of good folks.
That's awesome. Well, thank you, William, for coming on. It's been great. It's been
it has been.
Thank everybody at home for coming in and watching. You can watch this on 3 places in replay. Of course, on any of my Facebook pages, on Shadowhunters Paranormal Investigations and Events page, they have it. And also, we put our replays on Psychics Unite YouTube page too. So go on there and like that one too. So we're all over the place. You'll be able to see the replay here. It should be up by tonight or tomorrow. So everybody come there. So everybody join Ecto 22. She's a great car. Having a lot of fun with her. So like her page and come like me. So thank you everybody for coming on tonight. We appreciate everybody. We will see everybody next week right here on Shadowhunters page. So good night, everybody. Thank you, William.
Thanks, Scotty. Appreciate it.
Okay, good night.